Welcome back, people. It's Tone. I hope you all are having a good weekend. I certainly am. And this video is going to be the first in a series I plan on calling the Slider Lab. Today we're going to get into my pride and joy, which is the Varsity Slider set that I came up with a week or so ago. There's a video I posted as me playing as Washington State against USC at USC. A very short video, just one quarter where I simulated to the fourth quarter and pretty much got destroyed. That video is based on this particular slider set that we're going to get in today. Our quarter length's at 7 minutes. Of course, skill level varsity, game fatigue on, injuries on. Impact camera rotation is optional. Home field advantage is not optional. Once again, let me say that again. Home field advantage, you have to leave that off. You can do whatever you want to do, but whatever advice I ever give you in my videos, whether it's sliders, tips, ratings, anything, if you choose to take that advice and leave this on, I'm not responsible for the results, because I do all of my testing with this off. I like to be able to audible. A big part of what I do, and as far as the sliders that I post, is with the intent of you being able to audible and change anything you want to change. So that needs to be off at all times. Campus challenge is optional. Return camera, of course, is going to be optional. Let's go ahead and get into the set. We'll start with the human offense. QB accuracy is going to be at 30. And let me tell you, folks, this is no walk in the park. You're going to find yourself very frustrated trying to get adjusted to playing with your QB accuracy this low. But once you do get adjusted, you're going to realize the importance of leading your receivers, applying a correct amount of pressure when you make your throws, and even then, sometimes you're still going to make bad throws. But we're trying to make the game as challenging as possible on what most of us would consider a very easy difficulty level. As a matter of fact, most of us would never even consider playing on varsity. And that's just the truth. It has nothing to do with arrogance or whatever, but once you play these games long enough, you realize that varsity is just not a viable skill level once you've been playing the games long enough, and you need more of a challenge. That's why most of us play on All-American and Heisman. But for your QB accuracy, you want to keep that at 30. If you do anything with this, you can lower it. If you start getting good enough to the point to where you feel you're completing too many passes, which I don't think that's going to be the case, you can lower it. At no time do you raise this accuracy for the human. At no time. It must be at 30 or below. Pass blocking, same thing applies. We never raise this at any time. This doesn't get raised. I don't care how hard you feel the game is. You keep that at 0%. Wide receiver catching, there's some leeway here. We got something to play with here. If you feel there's too many drops in the game for the human, we can go from 30 to 50. That's our range, 30 to 50. No more than 50 under any circumstances. And you don't want to go lower than 30. So our range, once again, wide receiver catching, 30% to 50%. Running back ability, this is optional as well. Now, you want to keep this at 99 unless you are a high-skilled Heisman player, and we'll get to that later. But for now, we're going to leave that at 99. Run blocking is a bit optional as well. It is very difficult. The best thing about this set is how hard it is to make big plays in a run game. Running the ball is a huge challenge with this set. So when you're doing your testing, you should start your testing in play now and possibly practice. But like I said before in the previous video, your ultimate decision needs to be made testing these sliders in Dynasty, because the Dynasty game mode, the CPU is more competitive. And I feel 100% comfortable saying that on video now, because I've seen and played enough Dynasty to realize that the game plays differently. All you have to do is watch the 2 Dynasty games I posted in my on the channel. The first video was on this set. The second video was on my custom All-American set, which I plan on posting very soon. It'll be a revision of the first slider video I made. But yes, the Dynasty mode plays the CPU is a lot more effective, a lot more competitive. So keep that in mind. So when you're testing, you want to inch this up in 5 point increments. So 5, try that out, then 10, 15, 20. You shouldn't need to go past 25. You should never need to go past 25. But to start, you want to try to make the game as difficult as possible. Keep it at 0. So that's the human side. Now, you can see the drastic change we have for the CPU offense. All of this is not, the only thing that's negotiable on the CPU offense is QB accuracy. But everything else, this never changes. From pass blocking all the way down to run blocking, that stays the same. Now, here's the thing. With the QB accuracy, you can go down to 75 for a minimum, and you can go up to 99 for a maximum. You usually will find your sweet spot between 85 and 95. And you may see this and think, well, wow, the CPU is going to complete all their passes. Actually, they won't. Now, the passes they do complete, they look really good, and they're really on target. They're accurate. A lot of times you're going to see they're hitting the wide receivers in stride, but they also still overthrow. They also still underthrow, and they will throw interceptions and make bad plays. But what I do like, and what it seems to me, I'm not 100% certain of this, but just based on the eye test, when you have this QB accuracy high, anything past 50, the CPU quarterbacks just seem to play better. And I've seen this just from constant testing and playing with the game and things like that. Just keep this very high. You're going to see a difference in the QB play. Your completion percentages won't go crazy, especially being on varsity. You're going to see times when they complete 55% or 58%, and you're going to see times when they might complete 70% of their passes. But that's our range for the QB accuracy. We want to go from 75 to 99. Right now, I'm at 90. But your skill level might call for it to be lowered or to be raised. But I'm at 90 right now. For me, a comfortable range is from 85 to 95, but right now I'm at 90. Everything else, non-negotiable. This never changes. All this stays the same. On defense, let's start on defense. We'll start with the human. Real simple here, people. Non-negotiable is all awareness, knockdowns, interceptions, break block, and tackling. Non-negotiable. Now your tackling is going to be the only thing that's negotiable here. If you find the CPU breaking too many tackles, which is probably going to happen when you play in Dynasty, you can maybe pop that up to 25, maybe 30, but nothing past 30. I want to say nothing past 25, but nothing past 30. But this is where I have it now, at 10%. You don't want to drop it to 0 because the way the tackle slider scales is once you set this to 0, you're going to have a hard time tackling anybody, or at no matter where their running back ability slider is at. So a good range for the human on varsity versus a 99% running back ability for the CPU is going to be from 10% to about 30%. All right, so let's move on to the CPU. Here's the CPU, and here is where my advanced players, my Heisman guys, this is where you're going to extract a lot of difficulty, especially if the game is too easy for you on offense. Now, the first thing I want you to do is, if you find the game too easy, is to raise your tackle slider. Raise the CPU tackle slider all the way up to 99. That's the first thing you're going to do. If the game is still too easy, here's your next bet. This is when you start raising that CPU break block. And I'm telling you, it's already hard enough to run the ball. It's already hard enough to do a lot of stuff. But once you start doing this, oh baby, oh yeah, it becomes even more of a challenge. So my advanced Heisman guys, if you want to try this out, yeah, this is where you're gonna start adding your difficulty. Your first bet, like I told you, is to go from 70, bust it all the way up to 99. Then you start playing around with the break block. All right, and you can find yourself from here, or you can find yourself all the way up here, or you might just say, you know what, that's enough right there. So those are your options for defense. Once again, here's the CPU defense, and there's the human defense. Like I said, if you find the CPU breaking too many tackles, bust that up to 25-30%. All right, we've gone over the offense already, and we've done we've done everything. At this point, special teams is do it yourself. You know, that's what I have right there for special teams. This game does have one of the big weaknesses of this game is the fact that the CPU just doesn't miss enough kicks. I think I've seen them miss like 2 or 3 kicks since I've been playing the game, which is ridiculous. But a good counter to that is the fact that you do have a lot of block kicks in a special teams game. So it is possible to block kicks, and you will get your kick blocked as well. So that kind of offsets the fact that the kicking in these games is pretty easy for the human and the CPU. All right, let's go ahead and make it to the practice field and play around with this a bit. I'll see you guys on the field. All right, people, we made it to the practice field. And what I'm going to do here is just run a few plays. I won't be saying much. I just want you guys to focus on the gameplay. And whatever you see, if you see anything strange or weird, if you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, just leave it in the comments. But I won't be saying too much unless I see something extraordinary or something crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the gameplay. It's going to be random plays. Nothing pre-planned, just random plays. Whatever the defense does, whatever play they give me, I'm going to run. No audibles, just running the play I'm giving, and we'll just look at the gameplay. I had no idea what that was. It's alright. Okay, this looks like some type of obviously. This is a screen. Notice I mix up my snap counts. There's a video about that coming up shortly, which I wanted to do today, but I felt like I needed to give you guys that Varsity Set that I've been running. I just like the way, look at that great pursuit angle right there, real nice. I just love the way Varsity plays. It's just so smooth. I just love it. And remember, like I said in the previous part, that we can make this game more difficult if we have to. Oh, that was a great play. See how he reacted to that ball, but it was just so natural and it was so acceptable. And if you look, and you can see how hard it is to get to the outside with this varsity set I'm running. It is not easy to get to the outside. See, I have nowhere to go. I can't do it. Couldn't do anything. Well, this is that little screenplay that I like. It doesn't work all the time. Let me see if they're in man zone. I don't know how to do that. I know how to do the trick in regular games, but I don't know how to do it. What am I doing? Okay, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to tell when they're man in zone when they're in practice mode because the transition happens so fast. But that's all right. That's how Playbook Gamer High-Low read right there, which he does a great job teaching. Which I appreciate that lesson because I don't know anything about that, but I know now just from watching him. So that's very helpful. Get the ball out to our check down. Everything just feels good. I just love the way the game feels. Now, okay, guys, here's an example. I'm gonna use my slide protection. Now, if you notice just now, the defense slid over to my left. So to give my left tackle a better chance of dealing with that right defensive end, I'm going to just slide my protection over to the left, and we're going to see what happens. Great block. Okay, let's hurry up and get to the instant replay. Okay. Now that actually worked out for us. Everybody covered their man. They ran a stunt. they slid to the left and ran a stunt to the right, and everybody got picked off. Everybody got blocked. Oh, okay, yeah, that worked out great. Worked out great. I don't think I've scored a touchdown yet, but let's try to. Not gonna fix that there. Sometimes you just gotta accept that. I think I'm checking down too much because I'm always worried about the pressure. But you can see that now this is practice mode, and like I said, the game plays differently in different modes. But I'm having a hard time here. I mean, it's not like I'm scoring a touchdown on every play on Varsity. And just when I tried to throw the ball just now, I got sacked. But also, I'm not audibling either. So, yeah, just want you guys to see how the game looks, how it plays. Try to use it, catch that. We'll run a few more plays and then we'll be done. Beautiful. Hold on to it, yeah. I love the way the game plays on Varsity. It's just so, I just love it. I really do. And you can see the defense plays tough, but you haven't seen anything goofy yet. At least I haven't seen it. I guess I'm playing the game right now, and I would have to have another look, but everything looks wonderful right now. It just looks wonderful. Let's try to run to the left and see what happens. There's my highlight stick. Got our first touchdown, people. Let's have another look at that. And that guy's a power back, so he's got like 80-something speed, but he's real strong, one of the strongest backs in the game. Matter of fact, he's powerfully built as well. You can see that. Just a simple play up the middle. Good blocking, real good blocking. But you can see the defense comes off there blocking decent time. He just got ran over. He couldn't make a tackle. Boom. That's my highlight stick. And I'm still covering the ball. Still covering the ball and just run in. Just like that. All right, that's our first touchdown. We'll run 2 more plays and we'll call it a day. Great coverage. It was just a better throw and a better catch. Here's our last play, guys. Let's just go for the touchdown. Let's go for the touchdown real quick. Which that was too easy. That's just the practice defense doing crazy stuff. Stuff that you rarely see in the game. There you go. Alright guys, there it is, guys. That's my Varsity set. Let's go ahead and go back to the actual settings and the sliders. I see you there. Alright people, just a quick recap. There we are for the human. That's us for the human. That's our sliders for the human. Right there. Be quiet, boy. That's our sliders for the human. That's what we're using for CPU offense. CPU offense, human defense, CPU defense. Do your testing and play now in practice mode. Like I was in practice mode just now. You want to go to practice mode first and get in the rhythm. Just get in the rhythm. Run a bunch of random plays. If there's some plays you have trouble with, run those back against different defenses. And ultimately, you want to take those sliders, whether you feel they're too easy or too difficult. Take those sliders to your dynasty and just run a bunch of play a bunch of teams. Go to week 1, or you can skip to a certain team, whether it's an easy team or a difficult team or a hard team, and play around with those. But just a reminder and full disclosure, this set is possible. It might be too easy for some of you. But to be honest with you, if you go back and watch my Heisman video and the set I created for Heisman, this set is more difficult for me than that Heisman set. So if you're playing on that Heisman set that I concocted in that video and you switch to this is possibly going to be harder for you. All right, guys, that's the first episode of the Slider Lab. Varsity Set is in the books. Like I said before, everything's constantly evolving. Our skill level is changing based on whether we play well or we don't play well, or we fall into bad habits. We tend to regress. Keep that in mind. So revisions are coming for the All-American set and also the Heisman set possibly, because this game does play differently in different modes. I'm 100% confident to say that in a video now, because I've seen enough evidence not only from the eye test, but the stats bear it out as well. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.